Back with a quick follow-up to the episode where we were doing EIGRP configuration. So when we left off, I wasn't sure how to do unequal cost load balancing, so I learned a little bit more about that. And then I wasn't sure why we weren't able to ping PC1 from, for example, router 1. And I'm going to look here at router 1's IP table or routing table, show IP route. And actually, I can say show IP route and actually specify EIGRP learned routes. And now notice that there is no route to the subnet that PC1 is on, 192.168.4. And I think that's because we, in fact, do need to enable EIGRP on the G00 interface. I think maybe in the previous video I said that we didn't have to. That was incorrect. We do, so that it can be advertised out to the other routers. So we'll do that in a moment. I also want to look at a different view. Show IP EIGRP protocols, show IP protocols. That's another view so that we can see what dynamic protocols are running. So it's routing for networks 10, all the tens, the ones. It's got a passive loopback interface that's expected. Routing on 10.0.12.2 and 13.2. Looking here, 10.0.12.2 to 13. So those must be the neighbors. All right. And so I'm going to go ahead and enable EIGRP on router 4's additional G00 interface and see if that then populates the routing table of R1, which should allow us to ping PC1. All right, so jumping into here, en conf t router EIGRP 100, and then question mark. So I'm going to say network. And we need to match on the network 192.168.4.0/24. Okay, so I will say network 192.168.4.0, and then a wildcard mask of 0.0.0.255. So that will match anything in the 192.168.4 subnet. All right. And I would expect that then to propagate that route out to network or out to router 1. So let's confirm that. So let me move this up again. All right. So first of all, let's show IP protocols again and see if it's got anything. So it's got routing for networks. Okay. And so far, not so good. Let me see. Show IP route EIGRP. Okay, now this is good. So it does have an EIGRP route, 192.168.4.0 subnet via 10.0.12, 10.0.12.2. So EIGRP did choose the G00 route to get to 192.168.4. All right, so now I'm going to try to ping PC1, 192.168.4.1. All right, so ping 192.168.4.1. This is PC1. Still unable to do it. So it has 192.168/24 via 10.0.12.2. Can it ping router 4? Can it ping 10.0.34.2? Ping 10.0.34.2. So router 1 can ping router 4. Can it ping the interface here? 10.0, 192.168.4. I wonder if it, like, do all of this have, does router 3 have the route to en show IP route EIGRP? So router 3 has a path to 192.168.4 via 34.2. That seems correct. Can router 3 ping PC1? 192.168.4.1. Ping 192.168.4.1. Ping 192.168.4.254. Okay, interesting. So router 3 can ping the .254 interface of router 4. So maybe that's just not expected. Because all the routers can ping one another. 10.0.24.1 can PC1 ping router 2. 10.0.24.1. All right, that's timing out. Now let's do config. What's the default gateway of this PC? It's going to be 192.168.4.254. 192.168.4.254. All right, so then it's going to have a default gateway, and it knows to get out to 192.168.4.254. All right, so now can it ping 10.0.24.1? Yes. All right, so that's good. All right, so now it can talk. So can router 3, router 2 ping PC1? Can router 2 ping PC1? En ping 192.168.4.1. Yes, looking good. I bet PC1 can now ping the PC, or sorry, router 1 can now ping PC1, and it can. All right. So everything can now talk, which is great. And the routes around the loop and everything have been learned dynamically via the routing protocol EIGRP. That is great. All right, now this is kind of complex, but I think, let me go to conf T router EIGRP 100. We are in the protocol configuration mode. And essentially what this is about is allowing a router to load balance via a backup route that does not create a loop. So there is like the successor route, and then there is the some other kind. I can't remember what it was called. The feasible successor. All right. Now, typically, we would take the fastest path, which means the fastest in terms of bandwidth, the gigabit versus the fast Ethernet. All right. We can designate another path should something go down that is loop free. So similar to spanning tree protocol, in that you're just trying to create unlooped paths across a network. And so the way we can do that is by setting the variance here to a multiplier more than one. Its default, I believe, is one. So if we say variance two, we see now that there is a new, there are new adjacencies forming that weren't formed before. One via the 12.2 path over gigabit Ethernet, gigabit 00, and one via the 13.2 path. All right, so that means requests will load balance across this. Now, simulation is kind of interesting. I wonder if when we simulate, we can actually see that happening. So let's say I try to ping the PC. So exit, exit, ping. Okay, so the packet is there. So I'm going to try to go to the next thing. So the packet goes to router one. We can see it collecting there from router one to router two to router four, to the switch, and then to PC one. And then the response will come back, I presume, along the same path. So that's interesting to see. All right. And blah, blah, blah. All right. So now the next path took the alternate path. I think that's the load balancing, which is kind of interesting. So this must, oh, see, it is load balancing. Okay, so when we ping five, I believe, ICMP requests and responses are sent, and notice that as they're sent, first one takes this route through, the next one takes the next route through that we just enabled via that, what's it called? The unequal cost load balancing. So then you can actually, with the simulation mode here, see it in practice. And then that thing will go back, blah, blah, blah. All right, so anyway, pretty cool. Everything is hooked up and talking, and our load balancing is happening as we expect. Pretty interesting stuff. Go ahead and reset the simulation. But anyway, thank you for following along. A lot of fun. Again, it's always fun to get these hooked up and just to see traffic flowing. It's a cool thing to solve that puzzle, and just a lot of fun. So thanks for listening. Talk to you next time. Bye.